Hey, everybody, and welcome back to Best Iowa Cleaning Podcast with your host, Brandon.
And Ryan.
How are you?
Doing great. How are you?
Yep. Better than ever. Better than I deserve.
Yeah, same
Probably
here.
more. Well, we're excited you guys are back. This is part 2 from our previous podcast, and we're going to dive in a little bit deeper on what equipment we're using for the podcast to produce everything and film, the sound equipment. We're also going to talk about
Swept and the basically the systems that we use to communicate with the team, have their clock in, clock outs, things along those lines. And also Pipeline Pro, which would be our system that tracks our sales goals and some things like that. Helps us set up the interviews, and we'll get into that soon.
Yeah, client funnels, hiring funnel, hiring calendar, all of the above.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, let's dive right in. So I'm going to have Ryan talk about our podcast system because Ryan is our techie. He just knows everything there is to know about this stuff, and he actually got us in a program called Riverside, and it does all of the mixing and any editing that has to be done, which for us, we're so good at this, we don't really edit hardly anything.
No.
Yeah.
No. Take 23. No, I'm just kidding.
You can't edit these good looks, right?
That's right.
Yeah, well, speak to that a little bit.
Yeah, so first of all, I don't know. This thing could probably lift up. Better not break it. It is a little bit expensive. But
Whoa, be careful there, Ryan.
yeah. So it's a 10 input. It's probably more than what we need, but I love it because it's perfect. It can do 4 microphone inputs. So we could have quite a few people, like 4 to 8 people.
And that's really what is most important about it, is
Exactly.
it has 4 microphone inputs, and the audio was so important because we were running off of one of these microphones, and we have a pop filter on there too, so you don't hear the P's and the T's and everything.
Right.
It's been a game changer.
It has been. And I believe this model it's the Pro FX10 V3, I think.
It is, and I'll tell you, I got it at the Guitar Center. For me, it's more visual. I like to see. I talked to the sales rep and just understood a little bit more about it. It took me a while to figure it out, and quite honestly, it came with software to do all the mixing and everything way out of my league, way too confusing. So it was actually Caden, my oldest son, that came over and helped me just get the basics of it and figure it out. And then Ryan and I we honestly just Googled it and watched a YouTube video to try to figure out the sound levels and how to get it just perfect. So if 2 dummies like Ryan and I can figure this thing out, then you guys can too.
Gee, thanks.
I don't want to speak for him or anything.
That's about right, yeah.
No, I'm just joking. But yeah, tell them about the webcam that we use.
Yeah, so that's an Elgato face cam. I just love that. Elgato.
Elgato.
The cat.
And it does a great job. I mean, it from the computer, if the computer were doing the video, compared to that, there's no comparison. It does a great job.
For sure. It shoots in native 1080p and also 4K. So if you can go up to 4K, which Riverside.fm can, I'll share on that in a minute. It's pretty great. We've been shooting in 1080, I believe. So it's been looking good. And
A lot of that stuff. But Ryan understood it, and that's all that's important.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
But no, we got that at Best Buy. It was great value for that. With the mixer board and with that face cam, I would encourage everybody to. I'm more of a shop local. I have to see it, feel it, understand it. But Amazon Prime, you could probably find both of those items for substantially less.
Yeah, I think that'd be fair to say. And yeah, they are definitely kind of middle of the road and more than what we need, but it's perfect. It's going to sustain the podcast for a long time. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Very excited about
we
that.
wanted something robust enough to be able to bring guests on and not look like 2 idiots,
Right. You're doing what with what? Yeah, exactly.
Cheech and Chong here, Yeah, they might actually be smarter than we are.
Maybe.
Anyways, I digress. All right, so tell them about the microphone setup and the pop filter.
Yeah, I mean that we did get off Amazon, and that was thanks to the recommendation of our business coach. So, yeah, shout out to Grow My Cleaning Company and Mike.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. So these are let me check. I am blanking on the
So the pop filter is
Audio-Technica.
by Blue Coil.
Yeah.
And the microphone?
is Audio-Technica.
Audio-Technica, yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And then this whole contraption here that rotates back and forth is Blue Coil as well. And they kind of hook onto any surface. So you can put it on a table ledge and tighten it, and it's good to go. And then it rotates back and forth. So yeah, it's like Ryan said, it's not fancy, but it's all we needed to get going. So
Yeah, and I think it's honestly kind of fancier than some that I've seen do. So I mean, it really looks good and it looks sharp and
It does.
professional and
Yeah.
more professional than you and me. So
very true. Yeah. Well, you got to start somewhere.
right,
Yeah, but and then the last piece of information about the podcast is we're using a program called Riverside, which does all of our video editing. And we could probably do so much more with it. We just haven't, but
Yeah.
it does allow us to easily upload to Facebook and YouTube, and we schedule the uploads to try to keep it on a system. We're only just now filming extra episodes to get ahead of it.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's going to be a really important thing as we continue to grow. Like just
Yeah.
shoot a whole bunch of episodes at once.
I'd like to be about a month ahead of time for videos at all times.
Yeah, that would be nice to get to.
Yep.
And yeah, it's got a lot of cool features. Just to share a few, you can have remote guests, which is pretty cool, and they just have to have a smartphone with a camera, which everybody has. So,
Yeah.
I mean, anybody could be on the podcast at any time, which is pretty awesome. Would love to have in-person guests. That's what we're really looking forward to soon. So,
I think that's where the magic is.
It is.
In the last episode, Ryan talked about getting not just other businesses or other people from the community, but maybe some other cleaning companies. And how fun would that be? Just trading stories and learning about
oh yeah,
hiring, and hiring in itself would be hilarious, wouldn't it?
it would be.
Oh man, we've got some doozies. I mean,
Yeah, seriously.
oh, how wrong we did it for so long.
For sure.
Well, how wrong I did it before. Well, I got one thing right. You guys came along. Ryan and his wife Angela, they work for me. One of my first employees. Yeah.
Diamond in the rough right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's been awesome.
Yeah, it has.
And now I'm doing a podcast, so hey,
Yeah.
I can't complain.
Time has been, it's been good.
Did you ever think in a million years, like, these guys are the guys that are going to come on and do a podcast with me?
No.
Like, we're going to host
No.
one.
No, 'cause I
it
was-
never in my thoughts.
I was so
gonna be-
resistant to anything technology, so there's
Yeah.
no way. Doing a podcast would have been way out of my comfort zone.
And it was out of mine for different reasons. Like,
Yeah.
I just didn't think that I would ever.
Didn't think you'd look that good
I
on the
guess not.
camera, I mean, it shows the humility here,
Oh, man. So,
Yeah.
before I got super sidetracked with Riverside, it uploads as you're going. So that's pretty cool too. You've got it saved in the cloud. You can work on it from anywhere that has an internet connection. I mean, that's huge.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to have your laptop or whatever you're recording with to do that. So that's pretty big right there in and
Yeah.
of itself. And it's constantly uploading as you're going. We're at 99% right now. So, I mean, that's great.
With my slow internet, it's perfect. Yeah.
And I feel like there was one or two more things I was going to share quick about it. Just, that's pretty much it, actually.
Yeah,
it's
there's-
a great system.
It really is, and there is a little bit of a cost to it. So the soundboard cost just over $250. Do you remember how much the microphones in this setup was?
Yeah, these were $200 for the pair, and all
Okay.
of this. Like, that's a really good deal.
So it
'cause-
came with both of these plus some others that we're not utilizing right now.
Yep.
And then the webcam was just over $150. It was somewhere around there. And then we're using our laptop. And all the cords and all the connections came with everything that we bought. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, it's pretty cool with Riverside too, is that you can use a smartphone. Like, if you're set up on a more of a budget, you can use a smartphone. And
Yeah.
oh, I do remember what I was going to say. So there's a lot of platforms that it can stream to live.
Yes.
There's like
Yep.
6 or 7.
So you can
And,
do Facebook as one, Twitch. Mm-hmm. What else?
There's YouTube.
Okay.
There's
Is it
Spotify.
Spotify?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
And I don't remember which other ones, but there's a lot of them that you can stream to like multiples at once.
That's
which
awesome.
Yeah, you can't get that.
No, you can't. No.
That's pretty
Yeah.
great. But
Yeah.
we'll have to try that sometime, a live one. But
Yeah.
again, it's just breaking through that barrier of comfort, right? 'Cause,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. You got it. Yeah.
we don't do too many takes, but at the same time, it's just like knowing that it's live is just kind of messing with my head right now, if it were. But
we're all friends, and speaking of
Yeah.
the camera, I know that I'm not just talking into a camera. We're talking to all of you. So obviously it's easy. It's easy for me, but
Yeah, it is
and
for
I
me
think
too.
for Ryan too. Yeah, you've gotten used to it.
I
Yeah.
have.
Yeah. So hey,
Yep.
and one thing too with Riverside, the program, you do need internet to have access to it, and then also it's $15 a month. I think actually with a discount code we're paying $14 a month, but that gets us enough for multiple uploads a month. So
Oh, actually, no. Always look for coupon codes online because we signed up for a year's worth, and we got it down to $85 for the year.
yeah, that's right. So it's even less than $14 a month.
Yeah, less than $10 a month.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
See, thank goodness for Ryan. I'd pay full price for this stuff, and he's saving me a lot of dollars.
Yeah, it's like what, 170 something like that. But
Yeah,
we got it for
yeah.
half off. So
Yeah,
it's
that's
crazy.
great. Yep.
Yep.
All right. Well, now let's dive into our hiring funnel, client attraction. It's kind of like a I don't know.
CRM?
It's a CRM. There's a lot to it. Now we're using Pipeline Pro, and it's a fairly new platform, but they are so quick to getting updates on that thing, and they're constantly doing webinars and just a lot of that stuff is over my head, but it really helps to listen, and then they record everything, so you're able to go back and review as you're working through. Their customer service is pretty good.
It is.
Yeah.
And they're improving all the time. And, you're still paying the same rate, but you can tell they're giving it their all.
Yeah.
They didn't just roll it out and just kind of let it ride. They are constantly improving and updating it.
Yes, they are. Yep. And so you can do everything from creating a landing page, like a funnel, for your client attraction. You can do what we use it for primarily is not only a CRM for new potential clients, but also for our hiring funnel.
Yeah.
And so all it is just a hiring calendar, and it actually we have directed that on Indeed so that when people apply, it goes right to the calendar, and it books one time a week a group interview at our office. So it actually works out really well. But everything is automated, so Ryan and I do not have to respond. There's just an autoresponder that sends emails and SMS text to everyone, reminding them of the group interview.
Very customizable, and I love that part about it because,
Yeah.
just being able to have that at your fingertips is a huge game changer.
And again, that's $100 a month. Just I don't know. I'm not trying to sell anything, but I'm just saying what we've used. The one thing I will say about automating the reminders and getting a hold of people right away and getting them an automatic response and a thank you. Our potential employees think that it's a personalized text from Ryan and I, and two, it really makes them, I can't reach out to everybody in a single day, but the conversion rate of people coming in and signing up for the interview and then who actually shows up, it's 20-25%. So if you get 15 people, you might get 2 or 3 that show up for the interview. So
Right.
It's the more people that you can get attracted and into that funnel and booking a calendar group interview, the more people you're going to have come into your building, and you have to weed them out from there. But it really, I don't know, it's really helped.
It has helped tremendously.
Yeah.
I remember when we were doing one at a time interviews, and it felt like more and more, those individual people were not showing up. and then you don't have an interview. So it's like, well, that kind of,
Or driving to Anamosa or Center Point to sit down and interview and then have no one show up. And I mean, you get an hour to yourself with a cup of coffee, but that's a long way to go. So
it's a little bit of a bummer.
and if your conversion rate is 20, 25, 30%, you have to meet with 30 people in a week to get maybe 2 or 3 people,
A group interview is where it's at, especially with smaller businesses.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Your time is valuable. It can be utilized in working on your business. So,
For sure.
And then the final one, which I think is probably the most important, you have to have a way to communicate with your clients, your team, more importantly, and scheduling. It's an all-in-one message board and a clock in and out system. It has geofence tracking. It also is able to work with QuickBooks, and so you're able to integrate that on it too. And it's called SWEPT, SWEPT. And you can download it on the App Store. I wish I knew the cost of what we pay, because once you get to a certain amount, Ryan, it really kind of gets a little more expensive. But we're in the first tier, so we've got 25 employees that we've added, and then there's a little bit of turn. So 25 could go to 23, and then it could go up to 27. And to explain that a little bit further, we've got 2 people hired per location, and so it takes a little more manpower when you do it that way.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And we could have a whole podcast about that one.
I know. Yeah. But just talking about the platform in itself, what do you have to say about it? Anything that I didn't say?
No, it's very good. There's the admin side of it that I'm familiar with, and I've got to say, like, that works pretty slick. I just run it from my browser on my phone, and I'm able to, once again, help the team in a lot of ways there. If there's issues clocking in or clocking out, sometimes there are with data connections and various things like that. I'm able to help them out on the fly anywhere. So that's a pretty powerful tool. I don't have to have a laptop or a desktop. Never had to have one with this job. So I really, really like that. With all the systems we use, I can just use my phone.
Yeah.
So that's pretty exciting for me.
And full disclosure, SWEPT is really for cleaning companies.
Yes.
And it can be commercial, it can be residential, but it doesn't work well probably for other businesses. But
yep, it's very geared towards cleaning companies. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Yep. But I'm interested to know from all of you, if you guys want to comment in on some of the things that you're using for your employees, for clock in and outs, for any of this stuff. Even if you guys are running a podcast, tell us, let us know, because for one, Ryan, I love podcasts. First thing in the morning, I try to do family devotions with the kids and spend time there. But I love on the way to work or as I'm getting going in the morning, listening to a podcast. So, if there's other local people that are running a podcast, I would love to listen in.
That would be cool.
So, yeah. But give us some feedback. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, again, we appreciate you listening in. If you've stuck around this long, we really appreciate that. And thanks for tuning in. And this week, find someone, or I don't know. I don't know, Ryan, if this happens to you, but I wanted to say one thing because it kind of means a lot. But when I'm at Walmart with Amber, or we go to Sam's Club to pick up an order, it always seems like there's someone elderly or someone that just needs a hand just to load groceries into their vehicle and put the cart away. That means a lot, just something minor like that. I know it takes a little bit more time. If you have kids, obviously, if you're the person putting them in the car, you can't do something like that. But I do encourage everyone to find someone that could use a hand and give them a hand. It really adds to the experience. It fills your heart, and
making the world a better place.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah,
and I gotta say, with the little kids, like my little kids are wonderful little helpers. So they would love to just stop and help, like a little old lady who's trying to load up the groceries or something like that. They would do that. My 4-year-old daughter.
That's awesome.
Shout out to Anissa, because she is always like, how can I help, Dad?
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Well, and she probably sees Ryan helping out, so that's probably right where she's getting it.
Ah,
Good job, my friend.
thank you.
All right. Well, thank you all for tuning in again. Check us out on YouTube, Facebook. Like and subscribe, and please comment on YouTube. Thank you, guys. We appreciate you. And let's go out and give wholeheartedly this week. Take care.